crying in heaven. Someone you love who passed away is weeping because you are about to repeat a painful cycle. Read before midnight. My beloved heart, listen carefully, because this message was not sent by accident. As you hear these words, the heavens are stirring. There is a soul, someone you deeply loved, who stands in the light above, watching over you. And right now, they are weeping. Not because they are lost, but because you are about to walk into the same pain that once broke your spirit before. Archangel Michael is speaking urgently tonight. His voice cuts through time and space. Do not repeat the sorrow that once chained you. You have been given signs, but you've ignored them. This time, the cost will be higher. The one who passed, their tears are not of anger, but of aching love. They have seen your journey, the lessons you were meant to learn, and how close you are to stepping into the same cycle again. The same heartbreak, the same mistake, the same dissection. The energy around you has shifted recently, hasn't it? That familiar pull toward something you swore you were free from. Archangel Michael says, this is not love returning, it is a test disguised as comfort. The heavens are not silent tonight. There are angelic movements happening around your home, whispers that come when you're half asleep, chills that pass through your body when you think of that person, or the sudden urge to check old messages or photos. It's not nostalgia, it's your spirit being alerted. The one who watches you from heaven is trying to warn you before midnight, before the door of divine protection closes for this season. Archangel Michael stands at your right hand now, his sword of truth drawn, saying, if you choose light, I will shield you. If you choose what once hurt you, I cannot stop the storm that follows. Hold on, because what happens next in this message will reveal the true reason why your loved one is crying tonight, and what you must do before the clock strikes midnight. Type I receive the warning in the comments if this is speaking to your soul. Blessing code 911 has just been activated for your protection. Dearest soul of light, the reason heaven weeps tonight is not only because of what you are about to do, but because of what you once overcame with so much pain and prayer. Archangel Michael says your spirit remembers what your mind tries to forget. You may have thought you healed completely, but the same shadow that once broke you has found its way back into your orbit. It came quietly, wearing a new face or a familiar smile, making you believe that maybe, this time, it will be different. But the heavens know patterns, and Michael warns that a pattern ignored becomes a prophecy fulfilled. Your loved one who has crossed over has been trying to reach you in dreams. Have you noticed how their face seems sad or distant lately? It's not a coincidence. They are pleading from the higher realms for you to pause before you say yes again, before you reply to that message, before you reopen a door you once shut in tears. They know what awaits you if you repeat this cycle, another season of emotional drought, another round of disappointment that could have been avoided. The divine realm does not want to see your spirit exhausted again. Michael says, the enemy always returns disguised as peace. That is why your heart feels confused. One moment it feels safe, the next it trembles. The heavenly realm is showing you signs, objects falling without reason, psalms from nowhere, sudden chills that come and go like whispers in the air. These are not random. They are reminders that heaven sees what you cannot, and they are asking you to listen before it's too late. There is still time. The hourglass of grace is not yet emptied. Archangel Michael stands between you and the mistake waiting to happen, holding out his hand and saying, turn away from what no longer aligns with your healing. Choose wisdom over emotion. Choose peace over memory. You have free will, but you also have angelic guidance. Heaven's tears can be wiped away the moment you make a different choice, the moment you decide not to return to what once broke you. Hold steady, because what's about to be revealed next will explain the hidden reason behind your repeated cycles and how a heavenly intercession is already being prepared to break it permanently. Type "I break the cycle" in the comments if this message resonates with your soul. Blessing code 1133 has been released for your deliverance. Precious soul, Archangel Michael speaks again, and his voice carries both fire and tenderness. He says, the reason you keep walking into the same pain is because your soul is still trying to heal a wound that was never understood. You see, heaven is not weeping because you are weak. Heaven is weeping because you are still loyal to your past pain, still giving power to the very thing that once drained your light. Somewhere deep inside, a part of you still hopes the story will end differently this time. But Michael reminds you, a lesson will repeat until wisdom replaces emotion. The one who loves you from heaven, maybe it's a parent, a partner, a sibling, or even a child, is standing in radiant sorrow. They have seen your tears at night when no one else did. They have witnessed the weight you carry, the loneliness that makes you crave familiarity even when it hurts. In the realm of spirit, they are shouting for you to awaken before you repeat the chapter you were already freed from. They see the energy around you tightening like a net, and they know that if you give in, the same heartbreak will find you again, this time deeper, this time harder to escape. Archangel Michael says this is your divine moment to interrupt the pattern. Heaven has allowed a short window, a sacred midnight gate, to decide whether you will repeat or rise. You are being tested, not punished. The universe mirrors what you tolerate. The same people, the same temptations, the same emotional traps appear because they are mirrors of your unfinished healing. Michael whispers, if you resist now, the heavens will rewrite your destiny. Heaven's tears are not in vain. Every tear shed above becomes a seed of grace below. The one who weeps for you is not mourning, they are interceding. Their love is so powerful that it bends the laws of time just to reach you. That chill you feel when you think of them is not coincidence, it's confirmation. You are being surrounded by their energy as they stand beside Archangel Michael, forming a circle of divine defense. This is the moment to stand firm. Refuse to go back. The heavens are preparing to release an outpouring of renewal, but only for those who close the old door completely. Archangel Michael says, if you can let go before midnight, I will command the winds of favor to surround your name again. Before you move forward, take a breath. Reflect on how far you've come and realize your healing is not behind you. It's waiting on the other side of this obedience. If this message has reached deep into your heart, take a moment now, like, share, and comment below to keep this divine message moving through the world. When you share light, you become a vessel of it. Subscribe to this channel to stay under the covering of Archangel Michael's messages and help awaken others who might be standing at the edge of their own painful cycle. Type "I choose freedom" in the comments if this message resonates with your soul. Blessing code 1444 is now released for divine strength and spiritual restoration. There are moments when heaven moves through human hands, and this may be one of them. If this message stirred something deep in you, know that your support keeps these prophetic words reaching others who need them most. Every seed you sow here becomes a spark of light that touches broken hearts across the world. Archangel Michael says, when you give into divine work, you are not donating, you are planting deliverance. As the word says, give, and it shall be given unto you, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. I invite you now. Let your faith move with action. Join as a channel member. Send a super thanks, or plant your offering through the PayPal link in the description. As you do, may the heavens open new doors for you and your family. This is not just giving, It is prophecy in motion. Beloved, the realm of spirit is moving even now as these words find you. Archangel Michael stands as a guardian between your old wounds and your unfolding destiny, and he speaks with clarity tonight. You cannot enter your next season carrying the shadow of your last one. Every moment you delay your healing, the same energy that once broke you gathers strength to repeat its hold. But heaven is not allowing that anymore. The one who loves you from the other side has pleaded for your freedom, and the mercy of God has heard them. Do you ever sense its strange heaviness when you are alone? That sudden wave of sadness that seems to come from nowhere? That is not simply emotion. It is a spiritual signal. It is heaven's way of shaking your awareness awake. Your loved one's tears have carried a vibration that moves through time. They are weeping, yes, but those tears are becoming prayers in motion. Their voice rises through the celestial gates, whispering your name, asking the divine, give them one more chance to see clearly before the clock strikes. And this message is that chance. Archangel Michael reveals that the cycle you are about to repeat is not just emotional, it is generational. The same pattern that haunted your parents, your grandparents, perhaps even their parents before them, has found its way toward you. This is why the pull feels so familiar. It is not only about relationships or choices, it is about spiritual inheritance. Heaven is calling you to be the one who ends it. The one who says it stops with me. When you do that, you are not only freeing yourself, but also healing the bloodline that flows through you. The soul that weeps in heaven will finally find peace when you make that decision. You have felt their presence in your dreams because they are standing at the gate of your destiny, waiting to see if you will cross into freedom or fall again into repetition. Archangel Michael says that tonight's energy is sacred. Between sunset and midnight, your spirit is at a crossroads. One path leads to repetition, and the other leads to revelation. The heavens are watching. The tears above can become laughter if you choose light now. The divine realm declares, this time, when the past knocks, let silence be your answer. You owe no explanation to your old pain. You owe no conversation to what no longer belongs in your frequency. The one who died weeps because they know your strength. They see your potential, but they also see how easily compassion can become captivity. Michael says, mercy without boundaries invites bondage. Guard your grace, child of light, for heaven has invested too much in you to see you bound again. Stay close now, because the next revelation will uncover what the weeping soul has been trying to tell you, a secret that could shift the entire spiritual direction of your life. Type I choose healing over history in the comments if this resonates within your spirit. Blessing code 1717 has now been released for divine clarity and emotional victory. Child of destiny, as the veil between worlds thins tonight, Archangel Michael steps forward again, holding the sword of remembrance. His voice echoes through the corridors of your spirit. What you are feeling is not confusion, it is spiritual resistance. Heaven is trying to keep you from walking into the same storm you once prayed to escape. The one who watches you from the other side is interceding fervently because they see the crossroads before you more clearly than you do. They know how close you are to repeating the same choice that once broke your heart, drained your peace, and delayed your purpose. Michael says the cycle you are facing is not just about love or loss. It is about identity. Each time you repeat the pattern, you forget who you truly are. You begin to see yourself through the eyes of those who wounded you, rather than through the eyes of the one who created you. The heavenly realm is grieving because your potential is greater than your pain, yet your pain keeps writing your story. The loved one who cries in heaven sees your light dimming under the weight of old emotions, and their tears are falling as prayers to rekindle it again. Heaven remembers every moment you chose to survive instead of surrender. You fought to heal, you worked to grow, but now the past has disguised itself as comfort. It is whispering, maybe this time will be different. But Archangel Michael warns that deception always speaks softly. The same energy that wounded you before returns gently, never violently, because it knows how to manipulate your compassion. The spirit world is watching this unfold like a movie already seen, praying you will finally rewrite the ending. In the unseen realm, angels have been assigned to you, and they are rearranging circumstances around you. Sudden cancellations, delayed messages, changed plans. These are not coincidences. They are interventions. Heaven is trying to slow your steps long enough for your discernment to awaken. Every disruption right now is divine protection in disguise. Do not rush or do not reply, and do not reopen what God closed with tears. The weeping one in heaven once carried lessons they could not complete in their own lifetime. That is why their tears for you are not only sorrowful but sacred. They are weeping because you are the continuation of their story. You are meant to break the chain they could not. The cycle that tries to trap you is ancient, but it ends with your decision. Heaven has placed a mantle of courage upon your shoulders tonight. Michael declares, if they walk away this time, the bloodline will heal. Listen carefully. What comes next will unveil the message that your loved one has been trying to deliver through dreams, songs, and sudden memories. The hidden code behind their weeping is about to be revealed. Type "I will not repeat the past" in the comments if this speaks to your soul. Blessing Code 2020 has just been released for your breakthrough and spiritual awakening. Beloved child of the divine, Archangel Michael now draws nearer than before, and the atmosphere around you shifts as this truth is spoken. The one who weeps for you in heaven has not come to haunt your peace, but to awaken your discernment. Their tears are not of regret for their own life, but for the moments you are living now. They know that the choices you make in this hour are shaping not only your destiny, but the healing of generations that follow. Their tears are prayers, each one carrying your name, pleading that you will not repeat what heaven already delivered you from. Michael reveals that your loved one has tried to speak to you through signs, the flicker of a light, the scent that appears without reason, the sudden warmth you feel when you're alone. You've brushed these away as coincidence, but heaven says every sign has been intentional. They have been whispering, "Don't go back there." You've been feeling a strange pull, an emotional weight that makes no sense. That is spiritual resistance. The old pattern is trying to claim your attention again, and heaven is using every possible sign to keep you from falling. You must understand, this cycle isn't only about someone else's actions towards you. It's about how much of yourself you give away trying to fix what was never yours to fix. The one in heaven weeps because they see how you confuse empathy with obligation, how you try to rescue those who broke you. But Archangel Michael commands, this is not your assignment anymore. You are not meant to heal others at the cost of your own peace. You are meant to rise into the version of yourself that no longer bleeds for what refuses to change. The midnight warning carries power. Michael says that before the next dawn, you must speak aloud, "I release every repeating energy in my life." Say it with faith. Heaven responds to declaration. When you do this, the chains that bind your patterns begin to loosen. You will feel lighter, and peace will start to return where confusion has lived. The one who weeps will finally rest when you do this, for their spirit will know you've heard them at last. Heaven is not disappointed in you. Heaven is invested in you. This is not a message of fear, but of divine urgency. Your story is at a turning point, and the tears of your loved one are watering the soil where your next season will bloom. Archangel Michael has stationed protection around you, even as you read these words. He whispers, "Choose the new path. Choose it now." Stay close, for what comes next will reveal the hidden purpose behind your connection to this weeping soul, and the reason their intercession has reached you tonight. Type "I hear heaven's warning" in the comments if this message is awakening your spirit. Blessing code 2121 has been released to break every repeating pattern and restore divine balance. Beloved one, as the midnight hour approaches, the veil between heaven and earth grows thinner. Archangel Michael's light burns brighter now, illuminating what hath been hidden in shadows for far too long. He says the one who weeps in heaven is not only mourning your pain, but reminding you of your promise. Before you were born, your soul made a vow to break the very cycle you are standing in right now. You came into this lifetime to end the patterns that once enslaved your ancestors. The loved one who watches over you remembers that vow clearly. That is why their spirit cannot rest. They know your soul's contract is on the edge of fulfillment or failure. When you feel that deep sense of déjà vu, those moments when everything feels eerily familiar, it's not coincidence. It's your higher self remembering what it has already endured. Heaven shows you glimpses of repetition, not to frighten you but to help you recognize it before you fall. The cycle you face now may look different, but its spirit is the same. It may wear a new name, a different story, a gentler tone, yet beneath it all lies the same lesson: to choose your worth over your wounds. Archangel Michael reveals that you are in a spiritual courtroom right now. The forces of light are interceding for you, while the forces of darkness are trying to use your past against you. Every tear shed by the one in heaven is evidence of their faith in you, proof that you are worth the divine intervention that is already unfolding. They have asked heaven for a sign to reach you before midnight, and this message is that sign. You may have noticed how life feels paused lately, as if things are not moving forward the way they once did. That's because heaven has placed your destiny under divine suspension until you decide. You cannot be promoted while still holding hands with your pain. The one who weeps is waiting for your yes to freedom. The moment you declare that you are done repeating old stories, the atmosphere around you will shift. Doors will open, peace will flood, and the same heaven that cries tonight will rejoice tomorrow. Michael's voice grows firm. Child of God, your story does not end with tears. It begins with understanding. This is not punishment. It is purification. The storm you face now is designed to rinse away what cannot walk with you into the next season. You are not losing. You are being cleansed. What is being removed is not rejection. It is redirection. The one in heaven knows this truth, which is why they cannot stop weeping until you see what they already see. Your deliverance is closer than your despair. Before this message ends, take one deep breath and whisper, "I choose to rise." Heaven hears every whisper of faith. And now, the next revelation will uncover what the weeping soul has been trying to deliver directly to your heart. A message of release that could shift your entire spiritual path forever. Type "I choose to rise" in the comments if this message is stirring your spirit. Blessing code 2323 has now been activated for your awakening, alignment, and divine courage. Dearest soul of promise, the air in heaven is trembling tonight with intercession. The tears of the one who loves you are being gathered by angels and poured before the throne of mercy. Archangel Michael stands at the edge of your destiny, declaring with authority, this cycle must end tonight. You are not simply fighting a memory or an emotion. You are confronting a spiritual pattern that has existed for generations. The one who weeps knows this. They have seen this shadow pass through the bloodline, wrapping around hearts, disguising itself as love, and calling itself destiny. But heaven has chosen you to be the breaker of this chain. Michael says, the moment they recognize the pattern, the power of that pattern weakens, and that is why this message has reached you. It was heaven's strategy to open your eyes before midnight. Look back on your life. Do you notice how similar each heartbreak feels, how each disappointment carries the same echo? That is not failure, it is a map. A divine record pointing to the exact area where God is asking for obedience. When you choose differently this time, you don't just change your story, you alter the vibration of your entire lineage. Your loved one in heaven is standing beside Michael even now, holding your name in their hands. Their tears are not only sorrow but intercession. They are saying to heaven, let them see before it's too late. That is why you have felt so heavy lately, why your sleep has been filled with dreams that make no sense. It is the spirit world pressing against your awareness, begging you to wake up. Every sign, every coincidence, every strange stirring in your heart is heaven trying to catch your attention. You are being called to break agreement with what once broke you. The pain you endured before was not meant to destroy you but to teach you discernment. If you go back now, the pain will not just repeat, it will intensify. But if you walk away, the heavens will shift instantly in your favor. The one who weeps knows this truth, which is why their tears tonight are mingled with hope. Michael commands that the cycle ends when you decide it does. The power lies in your voice, in your declaration, in your refusal to repeat. Before the clock strikes midnight, speak aloud, I choose freedom over familiarity. I close every door to repeating pain. The declaration will send ripples through the spiritual world. You will feel the atmosphere lift. You will sense the tears in heaven begin to dry. Because the moment you act in obedience, heaven celebrates louder than the enemy ever whispered. Beloved listener, if this message has found you at the perfect time, do not keep it hidden. Like, share, and comment to spread this light so that others standing at their own crossroads can be rescued before their midnight too. Subscribe to this channel to stay under the guidance of Archangel Michael's voice and keep yourself anchored in divine truth. Type I choose freedom over familiarity in the comments if this is your confirmation. Blessing code 3030 has been released for your protection, wisdom, and new beginning. When heaven sends a message like this, it is never for one heart alone. It's for thousands who are silently fighting the same battle. Your act of faith can carry that light further. When you give through Super Thanks, become a member, or so through the PayPal link in the description, you are not supporting a channel. You are fueling a mission to awaken souls before their midnight comes. Every seed you plant becomes divine oil that keeps this fire burning across nations. The word says those who refresh others will themselves be refreshed. As you move in obedience, may your giving unlock supernatural peace, healing, and favor. Archangel Michael declares, those who sow into divine work will never lack divine covering. This is your moment. Let your generosity echo through eternity. Child of divine purpose, the midnight gate is still open, but the sands of time are falling fast. Archangel Michael stands before the throne, sword raised, declaring that the next few moments of your life hold spiritual significance. The one who weeps in heaven has not turned away. Your tears continue to flow, but this time those tears are mixed with faith. They believe you will make the right choice. They have seen this same lesson rise and fall through generations, but now they stand before heaven saying, this one will break it. You are their hope realized, the fulfillment of what they could not complete in their lifetime. Michael says you must not mistake attachment for alignment. This is where many lose their way. The cycle you face now is clothed in emotion. It feels familiar. It feels safe. But it carries the same energy that once tore through your peace. Heaven is weeping because you are entertaining what should have been buried. You cannot resurrect what God Himself has buried without bringing death to your own progress. Yet, in His mercy, the Almighty is still reaching for you, sending this word as a rescue rope before midnight closes the window of discernment. You may be wondering why this warning is so urgent. It is because heaven operates in appointed times. Certain decisions made in specific hours create ripples that determine entire seasons. The weeping one knows this. They remember how one wrong choice in their own life set off years of sorrow that could have been avoided. They are crying because they see that same choice hovering over you, wrapped in temptation, calling itself love. But Archangel Michael thunders, love that costs your peace is not divine. It is deception. Tonight, your spirit is being refined. The strange weight you feel in your chest is not anxiety. It is resistance from heaven pulling you back from a path that would lead to grief. You are standing in spiritual traffic, and the angels are waving you to safety. Listen to that still voice that tells you to wait, to stop, to pray once more before you decide. The heavens will not force you, but they will continue to speak until your spirit chooses to listen. The one who weeps is not bound by sadness alone. They are empowered by love. They have seen your future, and it is radiant. They know that on the other side of this obedience lies a new anointing, a peace that lasts, a season of restoration that will make every tear you've cried worth it. Heaven's tears tonight are the final drops before joy begins to pour. Michael whispers, "You have no idea how powerful your no will be. It will echo through generations. Hold steady. The next revelation will unveil what heaven is preparing to release into your life once you walk away from this pattern forever. It will reveal the blessings waiting for the obedient and the freedom destined for those who heed the cry of heaven." Type "I will not go back" in the comments if this message has reached your soul. Blessing code 4040 has been released to seal your decision and protect your destiny from repetition. Beloved heart, the realm of spirit is vibrating with expectation tonight. Archangel Michael's light pierces through the veil, revealing what has been hidden behind the tears of your loved one. The heavens are not only mourning, they are moving. The one who weeps has been granted permission to stand in intercession for you. Their tears have reached the courts of heaven, and every drop has become a petition for your deliverance. They are crying because your spirit is closer to victory than you realize, yet danger still lingers in the familiar. Michael's voice resounds with strength. You are not cursed, you are chosen for correction. The cycle that keeps repeating was never meant to destroy you, it was meant to awaken you. Heaven never intended for you to live in pain. It intended for you to recognize patterns that pain exposes. Every heartbreak, every betrayal, every disappointment was a signal calling you toward maturity. Yet because your heart is compassionate, you often confuse divine lessons with personal failures. The one who weeps sees this tenderness within you and knows it is your greatest gift and your greatest weakness. They cry because you give grace to what continually wounds you. Heaven has already sent signs of deliverance. The sudden restlessness, the feeling that you cannot stay where you are, the repeated dreams, all of these are heaven's trumpet blasts calling you to awaken. The tears of your loved one are mixing with the anointing oil of renewal. When heaven weeps, the atmosphere around the earth shifts. Their tears are not wasted. They are seeds of transformation. Every tear falling from that higher realm waters the soil of your next chapter. Archangel Michael reveals that your deliverance is tied to decision. The moment you say, "Enough," the heavens will move like lightning. The one who weeps will stop crying and begin rejoicing, because your obedience will close the loop that once trapped your entire bloodline. The sorrow they carried in their lifetime will finally end in your generation. Their tears are a bridge, connecting their unfinished redemption to your unfolding restoration. Do not underestimate the power of this hour. The midnight gate is not meant to frighten you, but to awaken urgency. Heaven does not warn where there is no hope. The one who weeps sees the angelic army surrounding you, waiting for your command to act. Your silence keeps them waiting. Your declaration releases them. Speak with faith. Say aloud, I choose to step into freedom now. Those words unlock chains unseen by human eyes. The tears of heaven are turning into light even as you read this. Michael says, when they decide to rise, the weeping will turn into wind, a wind that will carry them into their destiny. That is the shift awaiting your obedience. The next revelation will show you what heaven plans to release once the tears cease. The reward of those who choose transformation over repetition. Type I choose transformation in the comments if this message has found your heart in its divine timing. Blessing code 5050 is now released to activate strength, courage, and unwavering discernment. Beloved, as the night deepens, the heavens lean closer. The tears that have been falling in the unseen are beginning to shift into intercession. Archangel Michael's wings spread wide, covering you in a field of light. He declares the storm that once broke them shall now bow before them. The one who weeps has seen the vision of your restoration, yet they also know that the final test before freedom always looks like the very pain you escaped. The heavens are trembling because this moment, right now, is where your destiny is rewritten or delayed. The cycle that calls your name tonight is ancient. It has traveled through time, wearing the faces of different people, using the same language of false comfort, whispering the same promises it once used to trap your ancestors. But heaven's decree has been spoken. This must be the generation where the chain breaks. The one who weeps sees the generations before you standing behind them in light, each one whispering prayers that you will be the one to say no more. They are not just crying for you. They are crying with you because they feel the weight of the lineage resting on your shoulders. Michael's presence burns through every deception. He says every false piece that led them into pain is being exposed. Every familiar pattern that disguised itself as love is being revealed. You may have felt confusion lately, the strange tug-of-war between what your heart feels and what your spirit knows. That battle is the sign of transformation. The old self and the new self cannot coexist much longer. One must surrender. The one who weeps is interceding that you will choose rebirth over repetition. Heaven has not forgotten the nights you prayed to be free. Every tear you cried in silence was collected. Those tears became the currency that now demands your breakthrough. The weeping one knows how hard it was for you to release the past once before. They watched as you tried to rebuild, as you walked through loneliness, as you found light again. They are weeping not because you failed, but because you are stronger than you believe, and heaven cannot bear to see you underestimate your power. Michael says that after you pass this test, the season that follows will be filled with acceleration. The same energy that once pulled you backward will now propel you forward. Doors that remained shut will open without resistance. People who abandoned you will no longer have access to your spirit. You will step into favor so pure that it will make sense of every tear you've ever shed. The one who weeps will turn their tears into laughter, for their mission will be complete. They guided you back into alignment with heaven's plan. This is your divine turning point. Speak aloud with faith. I seal my freedom in divine light. I will not repeat what heaven has delivered me from. The moment you declare it, the spiritual vibration shifts, and the weeping above becomes singing. The heavens prepare to release the final revelation, the purpose behind all these tears and what your obedience has set in motion. Type I seal my freedom in the comments if this message has confirmed what your spirit already knew. Blessing code 6060 have been released to anchor your victory and establish lasting peace. Beloved child of light, the moment has come. The midnight hour is upon you, and the sound of heaven's weeping begins to fade. What once felt like sorrow in the spirit has now turned into rejoicing. Archangel Michael stands before you with his sword raised high, and beside him stands the soul who once cried for you. Their tears have ceased, their face now radiant with peace. The heavens are no longer weeping because you have heard the call. You have awakened to the truth hidden in the sorrow. This is the hour where your obedience becomes your inheritance. Michael's voice carries through the unseen realms. The test was never about love, it was about alignment. The pain was never punishment, it was preparation. You have been chosen to be the last link in a chain that has stretched through generations. And tonight, that chain has broken. The tears that once soaked heaven's floor are now watering the seeds of your new beginning. The one who wept is now rejoicing in radiant light, whispering your name before the throne of God, declaring that you have chosen correctly. The energy that once bound your soul to repetition is dissolving. You may not feel it all at once, but you will notice in the coming days that peace has returned where confusion once lived. The realm of angels celebrates your victory, because every decision you made in faith has shifted destinies beyond your sight. Michael reveals that your act of surrender has opened gates that were closed for decades. Where there was lack, provision will flow. Where there was silence, clarity will come. The one who wept has become your guardian in joy now, watching as heaven writes your story with divine order. They will appear no longer in tears but in warmth, through moments of sudden peace, through gentle whispers that say, "You did it." Heaven's tears were never signs of despair. They were a language of warning and love. The one who cried was not mourning your failure. They were interceding for your awakening. And now, as the midnight gate closes, the cycle that once haunted your family line ends with you. You have not only broken a personal pattern, but liberated the generations that will come after you. The heavens have recorded your obedience as covenant. Archangel Michael proclaims, "This soul shall never again walk in repetition." Their path is light, and their name is marked with divine favor. Now, stand in the quiet of this moment. Feel the atmosphere shift around you. The silence you sense is not emptiness. It is heaven at rest. The one who wept is now smiling. The battle has been won. The story has changed. The prophecy fulfilled. You are the reason heaven sings tonight. Before this message closes, let your faith be visible. Like this message, share it with someone standing in their own midnight, and comment what heaven has spoken to your heart. Subscribe to this channel to stay under the covering of Archangel Michael's revelations, and together, let us flood the world with divine truth. Type "I receive my NEW" beginning in the comments if your heart knows this was your word. Blessing code 7777 has now been released to seal your deliverance, restore your peace, and anchor your victory in eternal light. Child of heaven, when you share, you spread light, but when you give, you build altars that change lives. This mission is not just a voice. It is a lifeline for souls who stand where you once stood, ready to repeat the same pain but desperate for warning. When you give through super thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description, you are not funding words, you are fueling rescue. The Spirit says, those who sow into revelation will reap redemption. Each offering becomes a key that opens new doors for others and multiplies blessings in your own life. Just as the one in heaven interceded for your freedom, your act of generosity now intercedes for another soul's breakthrough. Archangel Michael declares, those who pour into light shall never walk in darkness. Give boldly, for heaven sees every seed, and the same angels who carried your name tonight will carry your blessing into divine manifestation.